Oh my god. Film a video, film a video, film a video. What should I do? What should I do? I have an idea. What if I exposed one of my high school teachers? Brilliant! Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay you guys, so when I was thinking of this week's video, I was wondering like, what would be a good video idea? And suddenly it came in my head. You know, we all have that one high school teacher. Okay, maybe not one, but we have a fair amount of high school teachers who might not be our personal favorite. Today, I want to expose one of those teachers that I had in my freshman year at my high school. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to say their full name, and I'm not going to say the name of the school for privacy reasons. And again, this is not to hurt or defame or anything. This is just so I can share with you my personal experiences in Mr. K's class. So, who's Mr. K? Well, I'm glad you asked. I want to start the video now. Make sure you guys give this video a like. Even if you don't agree with everything I say, I would still appreciate that you give a like for me posting on time. So you guys, without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright you guys, let me get out my exposing folder. Now, this folder contains so many things that will expose anybody you can think of. There are so many people in here who I could expose. Obviously, these are mostly people who, you know, aren't the best people ever, who I have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let me find the one about Mr. K. Let's see if I can find it, you guys. Perfect. Alright, you guys. Let me just see. Alright, I think I'm ready. Okay, you guys, so who is Mr. K? You're probably wondering. And again, like I said, I'm not going to use his full last name in the purposes of this video. I don't want anybody to know who this is exactly. But some of you who know me will know who this is. But obviously, I don't want anybody to think that I am trying to throw shade or anything. This is just my experiences once again. Okay, so let's get into it. So, who is Mr. K? Mr. K is a teacher who teaches theater and the theater arts program at my last high school. Where to start? Well, I came in on the first day knowing that the last year's theater teacher had been fired. That woman was evidently not a good person. They were like, she doesn't do anything. She sits there. She tells people they can just watch movies. So, I was told going into the year that it would be a fun year, kind of doing theater, but also having fun with games and like analyzing plays and all that fun stuff. So I was so ready. You guys, so now you know what he teaches. I want to get into my personal experiences in his class. Let's start with the first experience. The first time that I really started running into issues was when I did a co-scene. I don't know what to call it. I believe it was a dialogue between me and one of my friends. Was he the best actor? No. Was I the best actor? No, definitely not. But we were supposed to do a dialogue. Now let's be honest. We are just in this class for about 2 months, and he hands us this really, really long thing of lines, and I was like, wow, this is a lot. So many people switched out because of the amount of lines that he gave out. But some people stayed, and I was one of those people who stayed. But a crazy thing happened. So this is part of the story. So I knew this one girl. I'm not going to name her name, but she got her scene with this kid. He was held back. He was a senior, but he hadn't graduated the year before. But yeah, so he was a senior. And they got a scene, basically, that depicted them in bed right after, you know, stuff goes on. I'm not going to say the word. Maybe I'll put it like right here. But, yeah, it was after that had just happened. And they were supposed to be, like, talking and stuff. And if you read the lines, they were just really creepy. And another one that somebody got was one about how they were talking about the male, one of the male body parts. but it was these two girls. The scene was basically these two girls who were supposed to be talking about like a boy's kind of area and kind of like, wow, did you see this? Did you see that? Wow, it looks like this. And of course, you know, we're all laughing because we're in high school. But again, I didn't think it was the most appropriate thing. Those two scenes were the most appropriate thing for high school. So he hands me a scene where basically I'm supposed to play all-knowing God, basically. So I'm basically coming to visit this person. So I go and have to walk in, and I've been talking to my partner, as pretending as if I'm God, basically. And we start practicing, and you know, the first time through it wasn't the best, and I tried to improve. And so finally, we got to the day where we were supposed to perform. And I was like, you know, I was nervous because this was one of my first big performances in the class, and it can be a little nerve-wracking, especially for someone like me who suffers from anxiety a lot. I was very nervous right in front of it. So of course, not to help matters at all, a bunch of district people from the district come in and sit down. We were supposed to go first. He might have told us like 3 or 4 times, you guys need to be ready, you guys need to be ready, you guys need to be ready, you guys need to be ready. Because we were supposed to go first. And I was like, okay, well, whenever he says we're going first, I'm ready to go. You know, I'm nervous, but I'm ready to go up. So we get all settled in, and the district people are all settled in, and he sees them. And all of a sudden, we're like ready to go. All of a sudden, he's like, he calls 2 other people, just out of the blue, he calls 2 other people and says, you guys go. And we're like, oh, okay, you know, that's a little weird. You know, I thought we were going first. He told us only like 4 times. And so they go, and the district people still haven't left. So now let's flash forward. You know, let's fast forward. I said flash forward. I'm tired, you guys. Let's fast forward a little bit to when they're leaving. The second the district people got up and started exiting the room, he called our names and said, okay, great, let's continue with you guys. And I'm just thinking like, are you serious right now? Like, they just left and you now call us? Like, it almost seemed like he was trying to imply that we were that bad. Now, I know some of you could argue that it was because he wanted to save me from being quote-unquote nervous in front of other people, but he picked random people in the class who I knew were nervous too. So it was not just helping me with my nerves. And it was just very annoying. I felt very like, you know, defeated. I felt like, wow, maybe I'm just not this good actor. And I wasn't, you know I wasn't, but it didn't help my self-esteem going into it, so I ultimately didn't do that well. But it was not the best experience. So another experience I had is we started doing a warm-up. Now, in a theater class, you'd think a warm-up would be improv, maybe doing some fun theater games, but of course ours was massaging each other. Yeah, you heard that right. Massaging each other. So we're all standing with our, you know, in a circle with our hands out in front, and somebody is massaging our back. Now, let's look. Let's take a closer look. How about for one that I'm not comfortable with somebody else doing that, like regardless of if my back is sore, because like, you know what, if you're gonna give me a back massage, like great, my back is sore. But not some random kid just in my theater class, you know? That's a little weird. Even if your friends are doing that, that's just odd, you know? And I found it very, very uncomfortable, you know? And I just didn't know what to do, because felt like in that moment, there was nothing I could do. I could just participate. And if you didn't want to participate, he just said, well, fine, sit down, you know? He was very upset if you didn't want to participate, which I thought was a little odd, especially since it was just such an interesting idea for a warm-up. Another experience I've had in his class, or multiple experiences, was when he would not stop cussing. Come on, you guys, they're the teacher. The teachers are not supposed to cuss. As far as I'm concerned, you know, maybe you hear students cussing, but you shouldn't hear your teachers cussing. That's setting a bad example. And he would always cuss. He would use the F word, the S word, or actually, now that I think about it, he probably didn't use the F word, but he was close to it. He used to say like frick a lot, or he sounded like he really wanted to, but he was kind of holding back. But he said the A word, B word, both B words, just so many bad things. And eventually I went to the office and complained. I said, you know what? I went to my counselor, I'm like, I need to get out of here. Like, I just don't like it. Can can you please get me out? And she's like, no, I'm sorry, like, I can't get you out. You're already halfway into the year. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll continue with theater. So, in the next few months, we were to do a monologue. Now, he didn't ever explain to us what a monologue, kind of like what we were expected to do. So I went up there and, you know what? I completely, I guess, didn't understand what a monologue was. I had done my research, but I guess I just messed up. And he comes up to me and says this. What? Or hold on, you guys. Hold on, I need to get something for this video because it'll add to the, like a binder like this, right? And he's sitting there, and he's judging your performance, and he's like this. And at the end of it, he sets down his binder. And he says, do you even know what a monologue is? That wasn't a monologue. I don't know what that was. That was complete, I mean, he didn't, I don't know if he exactly said the words, that was completely terrible, but you could see that he thought it was terrible. He thought it was trash. He was like, he would have said, you are trash in this whole scene you've done. He's like, this is not a monologue. I can't believe that you would do this. This was just so bad, you know? And I was like, I felt like, wow, you know, maybe you could explain to me. So I said, Mr. K, could you please explain it to me? I can't believe you don't know what a monologue is. That's just ridiculous. And so eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down. And I did. So now let's go to another time where, now I'll give you one positive thing. There was this one scene that I did that he said, wow, I've never seen an actor improve more. That was the only time he ever said that. So, you know, I guess I get one thing. So I appreciated him for that. But one thing that he always lacked was he never told you that you did a good job. He'd always tell you his flaws. It would be like he wrote down on a paper. It's like he wrote this on a paper. Flaws. All your flaws. What you did wrong. How you didn't stand correctly. How you didn't do this. And he would always do his notes. Just judging you. And so he even judged my friends. He said my friends didn't do a good job. And so he never said we did a good job. So I felt very frustrated. And I understand, you know, you want to give constructive criticism, but at least give something positive like, wow, I really like how you did this, but I would improve on this in the future. He just never handled it well. So it was not good, you know? And another thing that happened that I thought was, he would always say that, I'm sorry if you guys hear something in the background. I have some construction going on. So, move to 2 more experiences and then that's it for the video. So, my next experience was with my friend. My friend literally, now my dog's starting barking. Okay, my friend said, and I swear, he said this, he said, oh, can we sit, we sat next to each other, and I was about to leave because I was moving schools last year, and he says, oh, well, let's sit together, right? The teacher's like, why are you guys sitting together? Why are you constantly sitting next to each other? It's like you like each other. Like, yeah, we do. We're friends, you know? It's cool. And he's like, no, you can't sit next to each other. You can't talk. And, you know, we were being, you know, we may have been talking a little bit, but we were just about to move. And even this girl, and I thank her to this day, she said, well, he's about to move away from his best friend. Like, give him a break. And the guy was like, no, I don't care. You know, do I look like I care? He clearly didn't, but even if I was in the wrong there, it was just not respectful. Just not respectful at all, you guys. And finally, I want to give the final experience. Now, this is the final exam. We're doing a final exam, which is a play in front of the whole school. And it's called Antigone. Very, very, very boring. And we just sat there and read the lines for the first couple weeks. And then he said, okay, we're going to start casting. So he casted me as this role as like a king. And he had multiple people play the king. I was just part of it. And so we come into the dress rehearsal a week or so before the actual production in class. And he says, we're gonna run through it. Because our classes at the school were like 2 hours long. So we had plenty of time to run through it. So He says, let's get as far as we can, and let's go. I get up there, I don't know my lines, because, you know, I might have been stressed because I was movie. Oh my god, I am so tired, you guys. I was stressed because I was moving, because I was leaving all my friends, because I wanted to do all the last things I needed to do. I was moving houses, I was living in, you know, hotels. It's just so much stuff, you guys. It was so hectic, and I even tried telling him that. I said, I came to him and I said, my life is so hectic right now. I am so sorry if I don't know my lines, because I really, really want to be part of this play. I just feel so, you know, I just don't feel like I can do it today. So he's like, that is unacceptable. I cannot believe that. You know what? Fine. But, you know, you have to balance your priorities. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm about to move 4,000 miles away, and I'm switching houses and packing, and my room's not in order, and I can't find my stuff. But yeah, I'll try to keep it together, Mr. K. So, I'm sorry if I get a little upset. It upsets me a little bit. So, we get in there, and I don't know my lines. So he says, I can't believe you don't know your lines. I'm like, I literally talked to you about this earlier, about how I didn't. And he's acting like he was surprised. He's like, can't believe that you would just not even come here knowing your lines. Like, that's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. And he says, well, maybe you shouldn't take part in the final. I would advise that you email me and drop out of the final, because I just don't think you can do it, right? I think that you're going to let people down, but it's the best thing to do. It's the night before the play, right? And I'm not worried because I'm not in the play, right? So I text all my friends in the play and I say, hey, you guys, I'm not in the play anymore. Just wanted to let you guys know that the scene will be played by somebody else, or it will be cut entirely, so you guys don't have to worry. And you guys, he calls my mom and says, hi, Mrs. And then he says, I just wanted to inform you that your son is a major disappointment to the whole class. He's letting you guys down. He's letting the whole class down. And I even told him he should stay and keep persevering with his lines. You know? I just wanted to let you guys know, or let you know, because it was just my mom, let you know that, you know, this is the final, but he has said he will not take part. Just wanted to let you know. Bye. Now my mom comes in like, are you serious? You haven't started? I can't believe it, you know? And I'm just like, oh my god, like, are you serious right now? And I'm sorry if I'm quiet and you can't hear it from there. I'll try to make my voice louder while I edit. And I was like, I can't believe it. And here's the thing that really gets me. I feel like he did it for a reason. Why? I don't know. I think he's just not a good person, because he could have called me any time in that week span. Monday. The production was Friday morning. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Decides to pick Thursday, not even right after school. Maybe he has a life, you know? You know, I get that. You know, I have a life too. Just besides school. Maybe he just didn't have a chance. Except, what was he doing that week? Nothing except working for us. Doing the play. So, come on. You could have emailed me. You could have been like, oh, okay, I understand you're not going to do it. Let me just call your parents and check. Or, oh, okay. Didn't answer my email. Called my mom Thursday, 8 or 9 p.m. at night to tell her, oh, by the way, your son said he's not doing the play. He's a major disappointment. The class is completely let down. I can't believe you would just do this to the class. I told him to participate. Like, no, you didn't. You said I wasn't ready. I should drop out, and I should highly consider that. And I did. And I dropped out. And I come in the next day, and I'm just like, not even wanting to look at him. You know, I was just so upset. I didn't know my lines, of course, so I messed it up. Everybody was like, you know, you did fine, but I know I messed it up. And I felt bad for my scene partner because she had to be on stage when I just didn't know my lines. But I mean, there's no way I could know my lines in like 8.5 hours to the production. So, he basically screwed me in the end, which was not appreciated, especially since he told me not to do it in the first place. You know, he could have said something. Anyways, you know, after the play was done, we took a picture, and then I heard the bell ring. And I was like, oh, thank the Lord this class is over, because I was so happy. I actually think I screamed. So I hope nobody thought somebody, like, died or something, because I, like, totally started screaming out of joy, out of pure joy. I was so happy I started screaming. Like, God, we're done. I'm like so happy. And my friend was saying the same thing too. But I mean, man, Mr. K was I wouldn't say he's the worst teacher ever. I just say like, he made me not want to ever do theater again. And maybe I'll get back into it, and maybe I'll take theater at my new school. But honestly, he really made theater not enjoyable. Told me I was terrible every time. Didn't let me show off in front of my skills in front of the district. Said somebody else had to go until they left. Screwed me for the final. Told me not to do it, and then said, oh my God, he's a major disappointment. Cussed a lot. We had to do the massage thing. Just so many weird things. Just not good, you guys. And again, I don't want anybody to unsubscribe because of this. Again, I'm just giving you guys my opinion. That is just the way I feel. And I just feel like I'm allowed to express my opinion to you guys. But if you guys don't like this, then obviously shoot me a message or a comment, because I want to know if this was not your favorite. And I understand if you really like him, obviously, you're not going to like this video that much. But this is just how I felt, and I felt like I had to kind of expose what went on in that class, because no one else is going to do this. No one else is going to come on YouTube and tell the truth like I am. And you guys, this will not be the last exposed video. Sorry, there's something written on the front. I have more in here, you guys, of other teachers and other experiences, but that's for another day. I hope you guys go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys do it. Give this video a big thumbs up. I'm sorry if this video ran over, but, I just wanted to produce some nice videos for you guys to watch and just get a bunch of kind of little bits about Mr. K. And if you have not told your friends about my YouTube channel, you totally should. Let's grow this community. Again, 65 subscribers is our goal by March 31st. And if we get there, we will be having a giveaway. So hopefully we get there. If not, it's not my problem. I'm not getting the thing. You would be getting the thing. So I wouldn't be too worried. But if you guys want to help me get there, that would be amazing. Again, comments that are negative, for the most part, unless it's like criticism of like the video. But if it's hate, then you'll be taken down and I will disable the comments. Anyways, you guys, with that all said, I cannot wait to see you guys back here next Friday.